I'm Hux. The first time I've made a slide about myself because I see Mika's presentation, so I kind of gonna say I'm a I'm somewhat a human technologist. I'm an environmental engineer and economist. I'm doing a PhD in sociology currently, poking around cyber trust mostly. I'm have over like 10 years of UX and service design experience. I'm currently working at NIM as a product owner and the lead UX guy. I also do organizational design and development. I'm DAOing since like 2019, and I've been doing lots of festivals, events, facilitations, workshops. My favorite one is that we've been organizing an underground techno festival for 5 years, but we lost so much money we had to stop organizing that festival. That's shortly about me. And before we begin, the first question to you is why DAO at all? What do you think? Why do we want to work in decentralized autonomous organizations? What's good in them? Any answers are good. No bad answers. You can just guess. Shout your guess.
Community involvement.
Community involvement. That's very good answer. Anyone else want to chip in to the collective intelligence? Yes.
It's more fair.
It's more fair. Also very good answer. Anyone else want to? Yes.
Because the DAO is a glorified multi-sig.
I'm not sure if it's positive or negative, but I do have a slide like that, so it's also correct. Yes, yes. Anyone? When airdrop, yes. Free tokens, yes, yes. Also, anyone else? Lovely answer. I appreciate that answer. Yes, also. Bit, yes. Yes. So the aim of this game was to show that one answer is also correct, but the more answers together we give, the smarter we are together. So all these answers are correct. So the collective intelligence is just way better than one super smart person because we cannot know all of this stuff, right? So we just want to work together and put our minds together and solve things together. So where can we see something similar already if we look around? Where are DAOs around us? Well, we might not consider DAOs, but they are like the OG DAOs, basically.
Beehives.
Yes, beehives. Fantastic. Okay, I'm just going to go to the slide. Beehives, like the bird movements, how they move, the little school of fish around sharks, how they move. It's like so nature is full of decentralized autonomous organizations where individuals have like unknown, like sort of unconscious rules, but they move together, they solve challenges together, they avoid sharks together brilliantly, or they just hunt for insects in the air together. So DAOs are not. So collective working and collective thinking is not something super new. It's something actually super natural and hierarchical, like top-down structures that individualists created are the new and weird things. So we're actually going back to something more natural when we talk about working in DAOs. So yeah, put it simple, it's self-organization of humans enabled by a blockchain. And this is a really important part because before blockchain, it was really hard. Even if you wanted to have like a horizontal teal holocratic organization, there was still someone who signed the paper in the end. There was still someone who made the call in the management in the end, which is maybe faster, but then again, it misses collective intelligence and it kind of relies on one person's responsibility at the end of the day, or a board of directors. Yeah, in reality, DAOs are chat rooms with shared bank accounts, bro, and glorified multi-sig wins. There also can be many other, so I could talk about many other things that a DAO might want to have or can have. Feel free to take a photo. I'm not going to talk about this. It's like it's all this and not. But kind of the idea here to show the two ends of the spectrum, right? So you can make it like a very simple collective organization which handles money together, and you can overcomplicate it with many things which you might need or might not need. And we're going to, hopefully in the last 10 minutes, we're going to raise a DAO together in this room in 10 minutes. So we're going to try to do the simplest DAO possible. If you want to read one very good article, which I recommend on the airport or on the plane, do read this. It's from Gnosis Guild. It's one of my most favorite articles about how DAO has always been a part of humanity and how we're kind of rediscovering this part of our culture through blockchain. Yeah, this was really a game changer for me. Oh, wow. Back screen. Okay, so let's conceptually build up, like let's think about the sharks and the bees and like the little birds. So what do they all have in common? They all have a center of gravity, a shared goal, a shared vision. So there's something which is collective and common, and what they all see, even if the birds don't see their center of gravity, they kind of know which point in the air they gravitate around. So every DAO must have is to have a shared vision or a shared goal in mind. It can be very specific or very vague. It doesn't really matter unless it's a collectively understood, point in the circle. Another thing a DAO might want to have is like a boundary, who's in, who's out. Like for the purpose of the exercise today, we're gonna say that whoever is in the room is already in this, that we onboarded you in the DAO because you entered the room. That's a limitation physically or organizationally. You have to have limits who's in or who's out. It's also important because a DAO is a lot about shared identity. So people have to feel that they're in the same group, seeing the same goal. And that's kind of facilitated by having a walled garden way, or like just a border that people have to pass so they're in, or they have to pass so they're out. And that's really, really important. And the other super cool, super important aspect is, this one I just said, people have to know how they get in and when they get out. And if you have a goal, like a border or boundary, onboarding and offboarding process, then it's a DAO, more or less. And this is my cooking recipe for you. If you want to do like a DAO MVP, shared goal, 3 type of processes: onboarding, offboarding, what kind of proposals can happen inside, and how the voting happens, and also have a time frame. The time frame is super interesting or important because if you just say, oh, we're gonna do this forever, it's not gonna happen. People have it's quite quick to go in and out of DAOs. It's really agile and really resilient. So you might want to say that we do this setup for 3 months, we do this setup for 2 weeks. The exercise is going to happen for 10 minutes. It's a 10 minutes time frame DAO. And don't be afraid of doing ephemeral, like, super short-lived things, even as DAOs. They work if you sort of set this right. If you put this MVP into a constitution or a light paper, white paper, black paper, whatever you want to call it, then basically all the members have a collective understanding of what's the goal, what the processes are, who's in, who's out, so what do we want to achieve together. And that's kind of the gist of it. Maybe the one of the last slides, few advice on how to DAO. Keep it simple, stupid. That's an engineering term, but also applicable for DAOs. It's really try to keep it the most simple and kind of most intuitive as possible. Optimize for UX. In the end, you deal with humans here, and you want to have good engagement from your members. So don't make it too complicated, too obscure. Make it like really lean, easy to understand. People know how to onboard, how to offboard. They know what they're there for. Done. Make it fun. Make it optimize for engagement. And don't be afraid to evolve. Many DAOs, especially legacy big DAOs who I worked with, like Aragon, Gnosis, they have these super complicated processes, huge membership, extremely, hard to grasp politics. If you start a DAO, you don't want to design this, star destroyer. You want to design something super simple. And when you have, more members who want to change the DAO, then they vote, hey, we want to change. We think we matured enough. Now we have to have more processes, or more different rules or different onboarding, offboarding processes. So just don't be afraid to change the model based on the members' ideas. And a few more words of advice: don't worry about tooling too much. I mean, it used to be super kind of hacky and bad tooling for DAOs. Now they're quite okay, and even a Discord forum works as a really good, proposal discussion forum for DAOs. Even emoji voting can work as a DAO voting tool. You don't need to have a snapshot tool to. I mean, you might want to have on-chain voting after a certain maturity, but just as well, like who votes up, who votes down, you already know what the sentiment is around the decision to make. Trust the process is the hardest part, but the most important, and trust the collective intelligence. Trust that if you do some stuff together with other humans, that collectively we're smarter than individually, and that's kind of the point. And it's super hard to do. And maybe one last thing for whoever is really want to design a DAO, one of the key things what many DAO designers or like whoever raising DAOs forget is to think about the edge cases and human attack vectors. So you always want to think about all the possible things what can happen when it's voting time. What if no one wants to vote? What if no one's voting for the next 10 proposals? Then we have to have something in mind sort of to mitigate these shortcomings of the human machine inside the organization. Any questions before we do the DAO? I think, yes. When to DAO now? Well, whenever. So I think, but it's a good question. Yesterday night we talked a bit about this with the gentleman. So basically, decentralized, self-organized ways of working together is always slower because human consensus takes a lot of time. The more we are here, the more time it's going to take to find consensus, even just in this room. So if you want to go fast and you have 3 key people, you want to do like a tech startup thing, don't DAO just yet. Keep it centralized, but keep in mind that if you want to have, community involvement, collective intelligence, you want to decentralize gradually. As soon as you have something quite strong or stable enough, you should think about how to decentralize ownership, how to decentralize, decision making around the project, if at all it makes sense. I think it makes sense in most cases. In some cases, it doesn't even make sense. If it's like a very good I don't know, 2 friends who are super good, like a creative guy and an all-rounder full stack developer guy. They do like a very specific application. Just don't DAO. Like to get the 2 of them can move a lot faster and a lot stronger than if they start involving, other people with other disciplines. But in any other cases, do DAO because it's fun and it's human, and yeah, we just gotta see how fun it is. Any more questions?
Yeah, I'm just also interested also kind of in because on the one hand, like setting up DAOs and creating DAOs, I think everybody in space loves that idea, loves the concept. We all DAO, also many of us part of DAOs. But I do think when finance is involved, money, assets, what is kind of like what is the best way to deal with kind of the legal side?
Yeah,
maybe not
that's in the
question or whatever, but it's the reality that we all have to do.
Yeah, so that's in the other workshop presentation, the legal wrapper side. So depending on what the DAO does, it can be entirely in cyberspace. It can still handle crypto assets. It can still be kind of in this gray zone of crypto tech. But if you're doing a DAO which handles real world assets and have to rent an office space or have to own some property, then you do have to think of something called a legal wrapper around your DAO. And there's a ton of different models there. I can give you a very good resource which kind of summarizes the 10 most used legal wrappers. It can be the Wyoming DAO LLC, it can be the Bahamas DAO LLC, it can be sort of like a trust-based thing when the DAO trusts 2 people who sign a real LLC paper, and it's kind of hard to get rid of the 2 people from the DAO if they voted out or if they're not doing their job. So it's more trust-based, but there's 10 different architectural options on how to legally wrap a DAO in any jurisdiction basically around the world. So yeah, absolutely. I do have it somewhere in my computer. So yeah, any question? Yeah, there. Yes, this presentation. Of course, yeah. I'm gonna share it with more than the boom.
If the presenter wants to share them directly on Discord,
oh yeah,
otherwise you can send it to me and then I will send it.
On Discord. It's on Discord
Or
or soon.
email.
Please share. Please share.
Presenters, please share. Yes. Sorry. But now, okay, go on and then.
No, just a quick. I think it would be really cool if maybe this presentation is not, but if there would be, and I think you have some of these DAO platforms that do offer something similar. But just to have some kind of tool, it's 3-step process to set up a DAO.
I can also send some ideas. There are some really good tools out there. It used to be super hacky and techy, like DAO House in the early days was super hard to understand what's happening. Even if you raise the DAO, it was kind of a very bad UI and UX. But now, one example that I'm using currently or playing around is a Cosmos DAO kit called DAO. Have a look there. It's quite simple now. Just explore that. But I can also send I don't know 10 other links to where to check for good DAO platforms. And but you don't really need a DAO platform, but you might, if you're gonna do a super on-chain big community DAO, you want to have a DAO platform with voting included. Yes.
Actually, we have someone in the community that started working on this. We have a Telegram group that are starting to make a few of the tools that you need to run a DAO, at least for the on-chain part of the DAO. I think he's called Fabio or something on our Discord, and we have a Telegram.
And Fabio is super good, so he's gonna cook very good stuff based on my assessment. So yeah, let's work with him and yeah. Yes.
Where do you place the limit of utility of a DAO? Like you said yourself, some stuff Discord is good enough for this. You don't need any blockchain. Some stuff you need an LLC or some legal representation. So what's in the middle? what is pure DAO for you?
Yeah, pure DAO is on-chain treasury, on-chain voting, and like membership. There's no real limit of membership, so like it can be like probably like DeFi DAOs, like DeFi platform DAOs, like a DEX, collectively owned DEX, like that. That's sort of the most crypto DAO for me. When there's a decentralized software product which many people use, and they collectively decide on the future of the product or the asset handling. So that's kind of the okay. Last question, because we have to do the workshop too, right? Last question.
I have curious, like to hear some thoughts, quick thoughts about the role that AI can play in
Okay. That's a really good question, and I have to think about it, and I'm going to answer it after we finish the exercise. But that's a really good question, like an advisor. All right, guys. So I prepared basically 2 exercises to kind of to practice how to DAO. And again, we have the circle is the edge of the room. So whoever is inside the room have to play the game. If you don't want to play this DAO workshop, just please. Okay. If you don't want to play, you can stand with Maud. You can sneak out. It's also cool. I do encourage you to stay because it's fun. It's not gonna be super hard. What we're gonna do is we're gonna actually figure out our shared goal together using a very simple. It's called 2 to 4 to 8 to 16. So how it goes, that in order to find our shared goal, we have to deliberate and have to talk to everyone in the room. It's quite hard, no? Like if you will start like, oh, I think this is the goal of this DAO. So what the first task is to just take 1 minute to think about a funny, easy shared goal for this audience today in this room. What could be our shared goal? Spend 1 minute in this in your head, have your answer ready. Then you have to turn to your partner and who's next to you, and the 2 of you has to choose one of your goals. And it's gonna take 1 minute thinking, 20 seconds deliberation, half-minute deliberation, and then you have to choose whose goal you're gonna keep as the group goal. Ready to think on the shared goal? It can be something. I'm just gonna give you ideas. One of the shared goals can be to finish here the quickest as possible and go to the beach. That's a very valid shared goal, So think about easy things. Don't think about changing the world, but maybe make Alephium go to moon. That could be also like a really super, like easy to grasp shared goal. So, yeah, right. Yes, there's a moon. Yes. So okay, ready to spend like a little time in your head figuring out the shared goal of this DAO that we're in together? Or hands up who's ready with the shared goal. Okay, now if you're ready, turn to your neighbor and try to decide whose goal you're gonna keep as the group goal. You can do a table of 3. You can do a table of 3 too. Hands up who's ready. Good. You're done? You selected? No, just sitting. Ah, okay. You're good? You're done? Okay. Okay, very good. Very good.
Which, by the way, shows the limits of the glorified multi-sig. Because it's not a non-chain goal. So.
It doesn't need to be an on-chain goal.
Yeah,
it can be stamp collector.
In the sense that a non-on-chain goal is not enforceable by the DAO.
That's very true. But we could do like a beer drinking DAO,
So it's very much related.
All right, if you're all done, hands up who's done? Everybody. Good. So next task is to sort of find the next group to your group, and now you have to sort of get a shared goal together with the nearest group to you. So join forces with the other adjacent group, and tell what was your aim and what was their goal, and then
Because last night we got
yes, join them. How are you doing? Almost there? No. You got it? No? It's still debating. All right, unfortunately, the time is ticking, so you kind of have to reach a consensus very soon. If you're still debating, just, it doesn't, oh yeah, more people, it starts to like be shaky, like.
We know how to go. We get everyone drunk, so it increases the
Hack it. It's okay to hack it. Yes, go and hack it. Yes, like go. It's okay to send lobbyists to other groups. It's completely fine. That's very, very human to do. So if any big group is ready, find the next, the other half of the room and try to.
I know it's funny when you know that it's here that the democracy has been invented.
Yes, and yeah, and it's super funny how it's a small group, right? But it's already like two people can kind of you're mine, but like 4, 6, and they're like, it's already the consensus gets really hard because there's just so many ideas and viewpoints. Like it's can you show me the time maybe? Okay, who's still debating? You're done? You're done, very good, yes? You want to ask something?
Yeah, not just how yeah. Let's continue actually to know how we wrap things up.
Yeah. All right, guys. You have to decide now. You have to decide in like less than a minute your collective shared goal, and because then we're gonna have to have a collective shared goal. You can decide.
Yeah, but So then, what is the process? No, but maybe
you vote. But we don't. We just try to throw a coin maybe. I don't know. Like you don't. I mean, it's just the idea is to show how. If you cannot decide, you have to throw a coin because if we're gonna vote, next exercise is voting.
Between what we're trying to find.
Ah. Okay.
We have the party.
we were actually going to role playing down.
But maybe we can do a live action metaverse nightclub.
Keep it simple. The more simple the goal, the easier it is to convince your friends and partners. You're lobbying, very good.
I feel like I decided I convinced you.
All right. Unfortunately, the time is up. Sorry, that was the time for deliberation. May I have your attention back? I know it's fun. Guys in the back, cool kids table. Thank you. Okay, so how many different versions of collective goals we have? There's one debate going on there. Can I have the, what was yours?
So we wanted decentralized deploy, so decentralized drinking, because last night only one person got wasted for the 60 of us, and that felt not really fair.
Yes.
That merged nicely with a few others that wanted to have more fun.
Yeah.
So that's kind of it. And I think over there you have.
Yeah, we have like the decentralized or like the centralized metaverse party DAO, and the idea is to introduce Alephium noobs, so people that are not
Through drinks.
gamifying the idea of Alephium by selling them NFTs that represent cocaine.
Okay, congratulations. I think in line with my presentation, let's keep it simple and maybe let's just say decentralized drinking as a collective goal. One more. Sorry, there's okay.
But the payment method has to be out.
Okay, wow. So can we hands up if whoever is agreeing in decentralized drinking, onboarding new people, but payment is with Alf.
Are we inventing proof of Satoy?
Yes. All right. Thank you so much for the first exercise. There's one more to play, but I'm just going to quickly summarize what's happened here, right? So you see that this is a room of like-minded people who kind of spent a day already together, and to make consensus between two people, it's like quite okay. You just talk. Yeah, we choose yours, we choose mine. It's easy. But as the group grows, it's consensus getting is really, really hard. That's why when whoever someone's asked like when to DAO, how to DAO, sometimes it doesn't make sense to DAO because it's just lots of discussions and nothing going anywhere. So kind of this is the thing that you have to keep in mind. But also as the more people deliberate with each other, I've seen lobbyists going from groups to groups trying to convince other groups that maybe which is exactly what happens also in a DAO. So people have to represent their ideas, they have to go and sell their ideas in order to make consensus happen in decision making. So this was kind of a large group consensus game. And since we have the goal already fixed, right? We have the DAO membership, congratulations. So now we're gonna just play one last exercise, which I really like, because I think that what we lack in general in DAOs is the proposal culture. We just don't know how proposals usually work because we used to getting orders or giving orders, like obeying or disobeying. So what I want to do the last game as the DAO together is just a very simple game, is that first I'm going to try to propose something, and then we have to have a bigger than 50% majority in the room agreeing to my proposal so it passes. It's going to be so I'm proposing that everybody with their right hands holds their left ear over their head, and with the left hand they have to like do this and speak like this. So if you agree, then you have to just start doing it. If you vote against, then please put up your hand.
I have this on camera.
Yeah. Okay. Hands up who's not agreeing, and just start doing it if you're agreeing with the proposal. Wow. Can someone count? Okay. Proposal didn't pass. I'm so. Okay. So the next, yes.
The last proposal.
Yes. Okay. So since I'm the proposer and my proposal failed, it was a shit proposal, let's be honest. Like, who wants to do this? I propose to elect another proposer. Well, that's already a good proposal. So let's, okay. But since I'm the workshop host, I'm just gonna, I have something in mind, but there's a point in all this, I promise you. So how proposals work is that once the proposal fails, it doesn't mean it doesn't mean anything. It only means that the proposer has to repropose, or we have to choose a new proposer, guys. So like it just has to be refreshed. So right now I'm learning from my mistake. My new proposal is that we kind of only do it with right hand, right ear, and just like all like this. If you agree to my proposal, let's just do it. If you still don't agree, you can put up your hand. Guys, we're trying to have a consensus here. Right? All right. I have a.
They're just delivering.
I have a I have the best proposal. Maybe that I propose that we all go to a coffee break now. Hands up, who's agreeing? One against. It's a majority vote. Congratulations. The DAO can go to coffee break. Thank you all for listening and being here. This is just kind of the gist of what DAO is doing, and it's just all about practice. And don't be afraid. Keep it simple. Do DAOs.